Welcome.
Today, we have another brilliant idea for you guys
So I'm nervous about this video
because of
the rubber bands.
the potential pain that we'll put ourselves in.
Yes.
For a few extra views. Look at this though. I was testing and I already got a welt, dude.
I want to stick with a
on
thinner
myself.
One. Don't do it that hard. Jeez.
You gotta be ready, man.
So today's episode is all about aversion therapy.
Yeah, we're trying to curb a habit that we have.
A bad habit.
One that we've noticed very frequently
during
our previous videos that we've recorded. The filler word when we're using it to continue our train of thought when we don't necessarily know what we're trying to say right away.
Yes.
So we say that a lot.
We seem to say quite a bit.
Yes. And this is to...
And it's downright unattractive.
Well, I think you pull it off. But we're all about bettering ourselves here at Untitled with Andy
That's
and
right,
Jeremiah.
We're all about perfection. And obviously you know this by now.
I have a hole in the collar of my t-shirt.
You really?
Yeah, right here.
It's supposed to be there.
It is actually.
It was. It's supposed to represent.
I paid a lot of money for this holy
as if
shirt.
you were almost bitten by a dinosaur.
That's very true.
Exactly that.
We're right in the middle of a big event.
What event?
E3.
Oh yeah,
the Electronic
that's right.
Entertainment Expo.
We're talking about E3.
It's been pretty great so far.
I'm really excited for a lot of the stuff that's coming out. I've seen. Oh no! No! Oh, gosh. You started off soft. Thanks. Oh no! Okay, so I have seen a few things already. I haven't seen too many of the trailers. This is gonna be brutal. I haven't seen too many of the trailers. Dang it! That counts. I have seen the trailer for Red Dead Redemption Part 2. The battle.
Do they have any?
Oh my god! No! No!
I'm enjoying this so far, actually. This is a pretty good video. You want me to talk now?
You talk for a little bit.
Microsoft kicked it off with a pretty great presentation. They showed off a trailer for the new Halo Infinite. They showed off trailers for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. Fallout 76 was in Bethesda's presentation, which looks great, by the way.
Yep.
And
it does look great.
Great placement of the song Take Me Home Country Road.
Yep. It's been stuck in my head this whole time. Like, I saw it today, and it's just been stuck in my head.
Bethesda announced a new Fallout. They announced a...
Yes! 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 Dude, I think this one's a little tight, man. Is that good enough?
Sure,
Is that
go
good?
ahead.
How's that looking? No, that wasn't good enough, but I'll let it slide.
The big news of Bethesda's presentation was The Elder Scrolls 6.
I have no idea about that.
Well, they haven't done that much with it yet. In fact, the trailer itself just showed some sweeping shots of Tamriel, and it dang it, I even said it.
Yes! Yes! Let's get this a little bit further up here.
You're rubbing my arm, dude.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's nice.
Come on. No, right there, good.
That's good, dude. Just
Did it
you gotta do it a little
Alright,
better.
alright, I
Come
gotta
on,
do it.
man.
I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. We're friends. It's okay. I'll still love you.
Is that better?
That's
Was that
fine.
better?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
You've gotten me pretty good so far.
Well, you had like 6 in a row.
I had 3 in a row. All right.
Whatever.
Let's not get so flippant with this.
So Bethesda didn't say much about it. It's been in a theory that they've been working on it for a few months now.
Really?
People have been wanting it for forever. Pretty much since they released Skyrim back in 2011.
Which is still probably, to date, Bethesda's most popular game.
For sure.
Like, people still... What keeps Skyrim alive is the modding. You can mod so much in that game. And a lot of people even use the modding to do, like, physics tests with their computers.
And
Pretty cool.
Bethesda did something really kind of pioneering on the console space too, because with the release of the PS4 and the Xbox One version of The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition,
You were
they
so
brought
close.
they brought mods to the consoles. So you actually had
they
the
brought modding to the consoles, which is a game changer
Right.
for
Now,
longevity of
it's
consoles.
still somewhat limited on the PlayStation side of things because they don't allow you to use external assets. That's Sony's. That's Sony's stipulation. Microsoft, however, has been a lot more lenient with the types of mods. I think the only thing that you're not going to find on there are some of the...
Why is Sony so tight about that stuff?
You got to see it from their point of view. They're at the top of the food chain right now in the console games. And
I thought Xbox and Microsoft really made a comeback with the legit 4K gaming
they did,
on the console.
but look at the exclusives.
That's true. PlayStation does have a lot of really good exclusives.
And right now, the only claim that Microsoft can make with the Xbox is that their exclusives are console exclusives. They're not actually true exclusives that you can only play on the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
You can, thanks to their Play Anywhere, I think it's what it's called. I'm sorry. Thanks to the Play Anywhere, I believe what it's called, you have a PC version of every Xbox One exclusive
Right.
that you can play. So there aren't any true Xbox One exclusives, whereas with the PS4, you've got a lot of them on the horizon. And we saw several new trailers in E3, especially in Sony's PlayStation.
So, yes! Yes! I think that makes us even. I think that makes us even now.
Sony's PlayStation event.
So let's go through the list of what Sony games came out.
What they've announced.
Yeah.
Or what they've shown trailers of.
What they have shown trailers of, or what they have officially announced.
Well, some of the biggest ones, right off the top of my head, The Last of Us Part 2.
It's going to be a good game. They hit the first one out of the park. It's really interesting to see, because the first one was all about the protector, awesome protected sidekick kind of dynamic, because she was no slouch. One thing I really like about BioShock Infinite and The Last of Us is they both had really great sidekicks.
Yeah.
Really great sidekicks.
It wasn't like Ashley from
Oh.
Resident Evil 4.
Ah, that was the worst sidekick. I hated playing as Ashley. She was completely useless. So what other game are you personally excited?
Well, talk about PlayStation a little bit more. Death Stranding is coming out.
What's that?
Death Stranding is Hideo Kojima's
Oh
follow-up
yeah, the one with
to-
Daryl.
Yeah.
He couldn't. He really wanted to use what's his name? Norman Reedus in a game. It was going to be a Silent Hill game, but then they were like, no, you can't do Silent Hill. So then he was like, fine, I have Norman Reedus.
Did you play PT demo?
Mm,
The Silent Hill demo?
no, I didn't.
It was pretty crazy. And for a horror game, it would have... That demo alone made the list for some of the greatest games that came out that year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And people were super amped.
I never played it. Yeah, people were really amped.
And then when Konami pulled the plug on it...
Did you say
No, I said when Konami pulled the plug
I
on
thought you said and when Konami pulled the plug. Okay, I'll let it go.
I mean, you can...
No,
do
it's
it.
okay.
I
It's
don't
okay.
know if I did
You're
or not.
honest enough. I missed it.
I've been telling you whenever I do it,
You
but I
have
might have
been.
missed it too.
So I almost did it right then. That's what that little squeak was. So people who have worked on this game, what was it called? Death Rising?
Death Stranding.
Death Strand Rising?
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. People who have worked on it have said they don't know what the game is about. Which, if you watch the trailer, is there a new trailer out?
There is a new trailer, and it actually shows gameplay. There's a lot
I
of
don't want to see gameplay. I just
climbing and walking and carrying a big box, but it's also shown your first interaction with enemies, and this is the first time that I've actually seen some creepiness to it.
Because the first one, he was just like being reborn as a baby or something like that.
Yeah. He's sneaking through this group of enemies, but the group of enemies, they're kind of ethereal, and they just appear like clouds of black. But the clouds of black sometimes form figures, and they kind of look like xenomorphs.
I'm going to be playing this game listening to nothing but M83. Midnight City.
With his games, you have to listen to the soundtrack that they provide.
I'm going to turn off his soundtrack.
His games are an art.
Oh, gosh.
You have to experience
it's a video game.
Altogether. What else did PlayStation talk about? They talked about... I think they talked about Days Gone, which is a zombie game starring a character called Deacon St. John.
That sounds like a great start for a premise of a game so far.
Spider-Man is also a big Sony exclusive.
Is it going to be Tom Holland Spider-Man, or is it going to be generic Spider-Man?
It's not Tom Holland Spider-Man. I don't feel like it's fair to necessarily call it a generic Spider-Man.
Is it Peter Parker? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Peter Parker?
Yeah, it's Peter Parker.
Okay. Like, they needed to make a really great Peter Parker in a cinematic world that captures both Peter and Spider-Man really well. Tom Holland has done that. That's great. We have had infinite amounts of video game Peter Parkers. I feel like a Miles Morales video game would be really, really good.
Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions is probably the closest we'll get to that for a little while. Did you ever play that?
No, I didn't.
So Shattered Dimensions actually has like 4 different Spider-Men.
Yeah, it has like the noir Spider-Man too, doesn't it? Which is really cool. I never played it. I wanted to play it, but that's like a really cool
Spider-Man is like the
concept.
only other superhero that's had decent video games other than Batman with the Arkham series.
Yeah.
And with
the Superman game was awful. That came out a long time ago.
Oh, the one on Nintendo 64? Oh
yeah, so was Iron Man. Ugh, it's terrible.
Square Enix is supposed to be developing an Avengers and a Guardians of the Galaxy game, but they showed nothing in regard to it during their E3 presentation. It was terrible. It felt like a waste because all they were doing was rehashing stuff that had been shown by Microsoft and other
developers. Every time I hear rehashing, I think of like the old hash browns McDonald's has left that they throw away.
No, they reshowed Shadow of the Tomb Raider. They reshowed Kingdom Hearts 3, which, by the way, Kingdom Hearts 3, the dialogue hasn't gotten any better, but the graphics...
Cringe.
The graphics update is insane.
Like, good?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's awesome. Because now with the power of the new consoles, you can actually have differing styles for each world. And it feels more like you're actually entering that movie's world. Bethesda arguably has had the best presentation so far, but Ubisoft, I feel, gave them a run for their money. Ubisoft had trailers for Skull and Bones, which I don't know if you've... It's a pirate game, a la Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Oh!
But strictly piratey.
Strictly piratey.
Yes.
I never played Black Flag, but I did hear that it was one of the stronger sequels.
I'd rate it just below Brotherhood, which was Ezio's finest outing, in my opinion.
I loved Brotherhood, and I loved Revelations. I loved it less so. Really, all of the stuff with... What's the character you actually play as?
Desmond.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, he's out by 3.
Yeah, I know.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Desmond dies. I just couldn't stomach the stuff with Desmond. I was not interested in that Abstergo storyline. Abstergo, whatever they call it.
Well, it's in 4 as well, Black Flag, but it's a different take on it, and you don't deal with Desmond at all.
Yes! Who do you deal with? Do you deal with the present time at all?
You do, a little bit.
Who do you play as?
You play as a tester for Abstergo Entertainment's game development company. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's not bad. And you play those segments in first-person perspective.
That's actually a really good concept to get away from this kind of like weird stuff that they were doing with Desmond and Fate of the Universe and Adam and Eve. Ridiculous, convoluted bullcrap storylines. But to say that they're going to use that technology to make it into a video game, that is actually a really interesting concept. I never knew that. That's pretty cool.
Play Black Flag when you have a chance. It's pretty good. And Skull and Bones is a spiritual successor. I think that it looks awesome. It looks kind of like Sea of Thieves with better graphics. I don't know if you've seen any of Sea of Thieves gameplay on Xbox One and
Sea of Thieves.
PC.
No, I haven't.
But It looks promising. Speaking of Assassin's Creed, they did announce a new Assassin's Creed.
Woo,
As usual, it's Assassin's Creed
yay.
Odyssey this time, and it takes place in
Oh yeah, that's right.
in Greece, which, as a concept, sounds pretty cool. Actually,
Didn't they do an Assassin's Creed where you're back in like 10,000 BC or something?
the oldest Assassin's Creed game is
Or am I thinking
Origins,
of,
which is Egypt. You're thinking of Far
yeah,
Cry.
I'm thinking of Origins, which is Egypt. Yeah, I'm thinking. What would you say I was thinking?
Far
of?
Cry.
Far
which
Cry.
is Primal.
Okay, yeah. Everybody's going way back into the past.
Right. Now, from the trailer that I saw of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it doesn't look like it has much assassinating in it. In fact, it looks like they've kind of abandoned the whole premise of the Brotherhood.
Free running.
I don't even. You want to watch there's an actual trailer for that one.
I don't think it'd be that interesting. If there's not much assassinating, what's the point?
Well, there's killing. There's
No,
a
yeah,
ton of
but-
killing.
I
It
mean,
looks more like 300 the
dropping
game.
from the sky. I don't want that.
And if anything,
I don't think.
it also has. I believe Medusa makes an appearance in it, so it looks like
Medusa,
they're
really?
kind of veering away from the
Get into
historical
supernatural
fiction
territory?
and well, I mean they've always kind
Or
of
mythological.
they've always kind of had historical, or
That's
not
true.
historical, supernatural because of like the pieces of Eden and stuff like
but
that.
more mythological.
Yeah.
More mythological.
So the
That'll be
idea of
interesting.
having these Greek legends that you interact with, people are going on about the fact that you can play as a man or a woman, and you do have romance options now, as well as dialogue choices, so it's more of an RPG.
That's so important.
Just because I love Greek mythology so much, I'm probably going to pick it up so I can play it.
I do enjoy Greek mythology.
Did you ever
I
play
really
Beyond Good and
like
Evil?
Smite. There's a game called Beyond Good and Evil?
Yes.
I started reading Beyond Good and Evil, but I haven't played Beyond Good and Evil.
So Beyond Good and Evil is a game that was made on the original Xbox by Michel Ancel. He's a French, I believe, game developer,
He's a French game developer.
but they're finally getting a sequel. So there's something kind of extra cool about Beyond Good and Evil 2. Have you heard of Joseph Gordon-Levitt's production company, Hit Record? Have you heard of it?
No, I have not.
So
It's a production company?
it is.
What, has he made anything yet?
Actually, yeah.
What does he
so
make?
it's community driven, basically. Hit Record has partnered with Beyond Good and Evil 2 to provide community created media into the final product of the game.
That's pretty
So
cool.
whether you're an animator or sketch artist or whatever, or a musician who wants to create a piece for the film, not for the film, I'm sorry, for the game, you can upload it through Hit Record, and if you're selected, they're actually paying.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So you get exposure and you get some money in your pocket.
Yeah.
I like that. We should come up with the soundtrack.
You want to?
Yeah. It's going to be called Drunk Monkey. It's going to go like this. Fat monkey. Wait.
I think that might be.
Fat chunky. No? Did someone already do that? Ah! Anyways. Is there anything you want to talk about E3 anymore?
Gears of War 5 is going to have a girl protagonist,
Of course it is.
and people are pissed.
Why are they mad?
Well, people who are automatically complaining now before seeing the actual product, you're going to get a lot of sexist comments.
Yeah, but okay, so it's a popular troll tactic right now to say sexist things or whatever. But so what else are they saying? Is there any like legitimate complaints that people are making?
The only legitimate complaint that I've read started out with a condition of an illegitimate complaint. The first one is this looks disappointing. Yes, because she's a woman, and 2, because the backstory that they're giving her isn't that compelling, which I can kind of agree with that.
The Locust Queen.
Yeah,
kind of
it may
thing.
not be the most compelling story, and
It
if they
sounds
had-
like
if they had given her something that was a bit stronger, I think that people might not be rolling their eyes so much at it, because there are a few eye-rolling moments. The gameplay looks awesome, and the enemy types look great. One last thing I want to say really quickly about E3 is the excellent news that Fortnite was released.
Wait,
on
that's
the Nintendo
Fortnite?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fortnite was released.
I
on the
could have
Nintendo
sworn
Switch.
that was
The Sims.
no, Overwatch. That looks exactly like Overwatch.
Overwatch should be released on the Switch, but Jeff Kaplan has repeatedly said that it would be impossible to do or really difficult to do. Which
Is Overwatch really that demanding of a title?
I wouldn't think so, but apparently it is. So Fortnite's on there now.
It
which
sounds just.
I know
not
you
optimized.
technically get Fortnite on the go with your phone, but it
It's
makes
not
a
the same.
huge difference to actually have.
I don't like
controllers in
gaming
there.
like that. Even if you have a controller, I don't like gaming on a phone. I don't like it. It's not fun. It's that is a lot more interesting to me than gaming on a phone.
And the last big news that Nintendo had was Super Smash Brothers. Dang it,
Yes.
Ultimate or Infinite or something like that.
Super Smash Brothers. I don't
Ultimate.
know.
I think it's Ultimate. It includes every character that's ever been in a Smash Brothers game.
Really?
Yeah, Smash Bros. Game.
Oh! Do they have Ness where he's like PK Thunder? And
Had everybody.
Ness was freaking awesome. I loved playing as Ness.
That's
That
coming
dude
out this year.
You just spam PK Thunder. PK Thunder!